ever since the end of the Elf Resurrection arc, we've been given a lot of new just magic knowledge within Black Clover. So we got like we found out now stuff about like how runes work. We found out you can kind of like put a command on a spell with runes, and then eventually if you can kind of get it to a high enough level, achieve true magic. We found out about the stages, and we found out about Arcane, because Arcane is the weird one right now because we don't know the exact criteria for a magic being arcane, but we do know that it's some form of irregular magic, and one of the things that has one of the things that we know that kind of can lead to it are like forbidden magic and stuff that messes with the natural order of the world. There's more than just like parts of nature and whatnot, and you have to have arcane in order to kill a devil. With all that, there's the character that I've brought up a couple times of how he has the highest potential. I mean, I've mentioned it before because his necromancy, all he has to do is find the whatever crypt that all of the previous Wizard Kings are all buried, and he's gonna have an army. And the thing to think about now that I was pondering the other day is if arcane magic has a high-end effect on the devils, like offensive magics can't kill them. I imagine it's also the same for other types of magic, but it has to be arcane to affect them. Like you have to arcane debuff, you have to have an arcane. I don't know, maybe like just a crowd control ability, and it has to be arcane, otherwise it just won't affect him. But if it's just like it has to just be arcane, and whatever the spell is would be its primary function. The question is with Rades and his magic, because his magic is the most, I'd say, I'd easily argue the most, like abnormal, like against the natural order of things, like magic in Black Clover. I mean, he's literally brought himself, Sally, and Valtros all back from the dead, actually, as well as Patri, just bringing them back when they should have died and they should have passed on. He wasn't gonna allow that. Like his magic can straight like ignore rules of like how life and death works, and like unless you destroy his whole body, he's gonna come back to life too. So the dude's magic is definitely, I would just guess, arcane. And so the question is, if arcane tacked onto your magic makes it so you can affect devils, would he be able to resurrect a devil to have as a zombie? Like I imagine if he could bring back like way later in the series, maybe like post Spade Warrior, like who could be so powerful to like present themselves to to be like a big contender right now. And you see Rades with multiple zombie devils and zombie wizard kings just ready to go crazy. And especially when already like very early in the series like about his backstory, and so far we've seen like even that the side he went with betray him, and I could just completely envision and understand if like the double backstabbing when he was in the Magic Knights and when he was in the Eye of the Midnight Sun, if they just keep messing with his head and constantly being backstabbed, it just drives him into complete insanity. I can see it. I mean, the dude was enraged enough that his magic like awakened and became true magic and brought himself back from the dead. Dude's pretty crazy. Everything about Rades is wild. So if his magic can do that, if it ends up being arcane, I see him as a potential like end boss, and I think it'd be really cool like after bypassing like all of the crazy devils and other kingdoms and wildness we get to, if the end villain of Black Clover was somebody who started in the Clover Kingdom, someone we saw all the way from the beginning, utilizing like the journey and every like victory the characters had in order to form his own army, where he could he could just do whatever his nefarious cycle villain things are. That'd be super cool. But we'll see. It's just a good question. If he is arcane, I think he is, just given his magic and how weird it is, that in theory he should be able to bring back a dead devil. But we will see. We haven't heard anything about him since the time skip. I'm hoping we find out, because whoever has the ability to look at somebody and say this person's arcane, like we know Dante and Loro seem to know how, whatever it is. But I'm hoping one of them sees Rades and just says, this guy's arcane, and then I'll see his magic, and it's like, okay, yeah, we should probably take that. That guy's probably one of the best magics around. We should grab that. That's pretty amazing. But Other than that, comment below. Tell me your thoughts about this. Do you think it's a possibility? Because if he's Arcane and his magic is bringing people back from the dead, he could probably pick up a devil. But other than that, I really appreciate you thumbs up the video, friend the like button, and subscribe button, and check out my other videos. But other than that, I appreciate everyone who's already subscribed, and I thank you all for listening. Bye.